For centuries, human folklore has been filled with stories of gentle, magical companions drifting quietly by our side. But when we try to build those companions using modern robotics, the experience usually breaks down the moment it comes indoors. For the home environment, traditional drones are a poor fit. A drone inside a house brings immediate chaos. The motors roar, the downwash scatters your papers everywhere, and there is a constant underlying anxiety that this fast-moving machine is going to crash into something or someone. The engineering behind rigid drones is designed to conquer physical space, fighting gravity with brute force. It is difficult to peacefully share a living room with a machine that treats your environment like an obstacle course. Solving this requires a different starting point: lighter-than-air, soft floating robots. Because they are naturally buoyant, they can drift through a room like a gentle breeze. This animated diagram shows the mechanical difference. On the left, a traditional drone must generate massive downward thrust, creating turbulent air to stay aloft. On the right, the soft robot simply displaces the air around it, requiring very little energy to move and generating almost no wind. If that soft body bumps into you, the kinetic energy doesn't cause damage. It dissipates across the surface, and the robot just bounces off with a playful wiggle. Removing the risk of physical injury changes the relationship. A machine can transition from an industrial tool into a personal companion once you can turn your back on it without a second thought. To see how this works in practice, let's track a daily timeline, beginning with the transition from sleep to waking. Instead of being jolted awake by a blaring alarm clock, a floating companion hovers down and rests its cloud-like body against you. You wake up to a soft, tactile touch rather than a sudden burst of noise. Later, in a midday work environment, you might be staring at a monitor for hours. The companion can float over to deliver a gentle physical nudge. It mimics the presence of a coworker. That soft bump serves as a physical prompt to check your posture, step away from the desk, or take a quick wellness break. These quiet physical interventions offer a different path for human-computer interaction. By removing all screens and notifications, the interface can prompt a change in behavior without adding to your mental clutter. In the afternoon, we hit leisure time, a scenario where you might be hyper-focused on a video game for several hours. This conceptual UI overlay shows exactly how the soft robot handles a daily interruption. Rather than sending a nagging phone alert, it calculates an angle and drifts into your peripheral vision, blocking just enough of the screen to break your visual lock and suggest a break. When the robot isn't needed for a task, it can become a passive utility. If you sit down to read, it can land on your lap to serve as a soft, elevated surface for your book. This requires a specific engineering balance. The internal structure must be rigid enough to bear the weight of a book, while the overall mass remains low enough to stay buoyant the moment you stand up. By acting only when necessary and then fading back into the environment, these machines can maintain a sense of helpfulness without becoming a distraction. Beyond physical tasks, these robots can address the quiet, empty moments of a day, like the dullness of waiting alone in a room. In these moments, the robot can alter its behavior. It can spin and wiggle, moving through the room to provide a moving focal point. This responsive, active movement gives the eye something to track. Having a moving entity share the space changes the atmosphere of the room, making a period of waiting feel less stagnant. Even without a face or a voice, intentional motion can create a sense of presence. The machine stops feeling like a piece of furniture and begins to feel like a responsive part of the home. This effect scales up in social settings. Imagine a gathering where guests are feeling a bit shy or the conversation has hit a lull. If music begins to play, the robot can react to the rhythm, swaying and drifting with the beat. It becomes a low-stakes icebreaker in the center of the room. Seeing a non-judgmental object initiate a dance can lower human inhibitions. It provides a shared point of interest that can spark interaction between people. These interactions suggest that for a robot to truly live alongside us, its design should prioritize being unobtrusive and socially responsive. The success of these prototypes comes from their ability to blend into the existing rhythms of a home. To explore more ways intelligent machines are integrating into our daily lives, subscribe to AI Vanguard and join us as we track the evolution of industrial AI.